What's up, everyone? You are tuned in to the channel Eeps. I'm your host, EEPMON, episode 93. Today, I'm going to talk about the creative tools that you use do not define you. I just posted on my Instagram. Please follow my Instagram account too if you like, and also like and subscribe this channel if you are enjoying. But yeah, I posted a video about one of my much older MacBook Pro laptops that I still use from 2010. You heard me right. I have a MacBook Pro from mid 2010 that I still use for my production. It's actually right adjacent to this computer here. And I still use a lot of the creative software tools on that machine for my production. And what's interesting, being an OG in the creative industry space, that a lot of these software tools or graphical tools have not changed much in the past 20 odd years. You heard me right. There are still layers in those very old, considered dated legacy apps. There's still timelines. There's still animation timelines. You can still export to JPEGs, GIF files, GIF files for those who are like, you said GIF. Ah! PNG. It does all of that, folks. Sometimes I do question the industry because there's this idea that in order to be a great creator, you must be using the latest and greatest tools, the latest software, the latest machine, the latest, fast connectivity between data transfers, between hard drives. You got to have the best connection. Yeah. And it's the same narrative over and over again being fed to society. This is the latest machine. It is 20% faster than our previous model. Better battery life. More crisper screen. Oh my goodness. And the crowd goes wild. You don't need to look further than every year around September, October. You would go to the Apple store and see people lining up for the latest and greatest iPhone, right? Look, I got an iPhone 12 Pro. It's not the latest one. My previous iPhone was an iPhone 6. Still use it. Still works. I can still type. I can still send email. Heck, I can still play Brawl Stars on it. And I still win. I'm still number one. Well, I'm not that good, but I'm pretty good. But yeah, I think that, it's part of the marketing and just tactic of encouraging consumers and businesses to upgrade to the latest and greatest. But truth be told, I do not think that is the case because I'm still using these old machines. This machine is over 10 years old. I have an Apple Cinema Display 20-inch. Guess what year it was released? 2003. This machine is almost 20 years old. Wow. Brev. Now that is called maximizing your investment. And it's right here. I'm using my 2003 Apple Cinema Display. For some reason, it's still going strong. Still using it. And what's the word? Excuse me. It is very similar to the idea of craftswomen, like tools. right? Like you have people using these pieces or these old tools, to make their chisels that you've been using all the time and never, they would not go to anything differently, using the same tool over and over again because it's something that they've warmed up to. It's something that they've been using for years and years. I kind of feel the same way with this machine. Okay, it's a little slower, but it does the job well. It's incredible. The tools still work. And it's something that I continue to use to this day. And not much has changed. The pen tool is still the pen tool today. There's no new innovation that the pen tool has evolved to increase your productivity. No, it has not. So the true measure, I guess a long story short, the true measure of a creator and a creator's talent is not defined by the tools. Rather, is defined by your skill, is defined by your creativity, right? I could easily do the same thing probably on this other machine. Again, a little bit slower, but it gets the job done. And I also believe the measure of the talent of an individual is also measured by how resourceful you are with what you have. As I said, latest and greatest doesn't mean you're going to be the best artist in the world, or you're going to be you're going to get more opportunities because you have the latest and greatest. That being said, I do have a short story to share. Because prior to upgrading my laptop, which I'm using now, this is actually not a new one. This is I believe it's a 2021 MacBook Pro M1 Max. So I spec out of this thing to its maximum. So it's very powerful. It's going to be, it's quite an investment, but it's going to last me a long time. Okay. But prior to that, for the longest time, I've been walking around and traveling the world with my mid 2010 MacBook Pro. It's got stickers on it. It's like all decked out. It's crazy. I've been using it. It's my craft tool. It's my baby. It's what I've been using all this time. But what I've noticed that whenever I'm in meetings, it's so funny because you have two types of people or two groups of two types of mentalities. They meet you because you're the artist and they like your work. That's why they approach you, right? But as soon as I whip this laptop out, the reactions are, wow, like, what's wrong with you? Like, this is 2020 or 2018 or whatever. Like, why don't you have the latest upgrade? Like, what's wrong with you? Are you cheap? Are you crazy? Are you not with the cool crew? And then the other camp is like, wow, respect, sir, respect. Like, you are using this OG machine to do your production and your professional work. Like wow. Like, it's like applause. Like, good job. Like, wow. And for me, it's a great measure and test, almost like testing people to see what their psychology and understanding their true character. Who are they really? Sure, they're clients or potential clients, or maybe there's people that I meet in the industry and all that. But like who are they really? And what's funny is that with this machine, it elicits an emotional response that they were not prepared for. Of course, how would you come in and imagine it's 2024, you're lunging around a freaking like old machine and you're like, yeah, I'll do production on it. Like, how are you going to react to it? So the interview is almost like the other way around. It's like, sure, no, you could come to me, but if I'm dealing with clients that are just very are a bunch of assholes, then I don't. Maybe it's a good idea to walk away from the project, or if I'm just having meetings and all that, and to get some really snobbish reaction, then yeah, I mean, like that's not a really healthy environment that I want to play in. But yeah, anyway, but I think it's funny. I think it's really interesting to see how they react. Um, but yeah, so that's the spiel. That's the spiel. But of course, nowadays I got the latest laptop, and honestly, I know it's like this machine now is a bit the mid 2010 MacBook Pro. I don't carry it around anymore, but I still use it here. And in fact, I have them networked together. So there is actually, I can use it I have a network going on here. So I can connect from this laptop to the other laptop. So I have more expansion. So there's lots of things you can do. So if anyone who has these legacy machines, or consider legacy and old, think twice about throwing it out or replacing it, or there is always a second life to so-called obsolete devices, right? Like talk about e-waste and all that. Like we live in a society where every year we need to get the latest and greatest. We sell it, we throw the other one out, and it's just like, but the the hard drive is still a hard drive. Hard drive's a hard drive, RAM's a RAM, software. And it's like you can use it, you can leverage it, you could be more resourceful and find creative ways to use it as part of your productivity, right? You can make that a server. I can make it to hold archival documents that I don't hardly ever touch anymore. So it's a great expansion. Put it through on the network. Just set it aside. I still have a FireWire 800 external hard drive. It's like right there, connected to my old laptop. Have you guys heard of FireWire 800? No, that's pretty old, right? So, but it still works. Like, why would you throw a nice 500 gig FireWire 800 in the garbage? Like, why would you do that? Is it 500? Yeah, it's 500 gigs. Like, why would you not use it anymore? It still works. So, I think this episode is really about being mindful and resourceful of the existing tools you have, and that the tools that you have at the end of the day do not define who you are as a creator. The talent is still with you. It's just be creative of how you use your tools is basically the message at the end of the day. Anywho, I hope you like my little spiel and rant. I kind of like I guess I didn't have my coffee, so I'm kind of like random gibberish came out of my mouth today. But yeah, hope you enjoyed, and like and subscribe, comment if you have any questions and whatnot, or if you what you have to say about resourcefulness. So on that note, have a great evening, have a great afternoon, have a great morning wherever you are in the world. This is the channel Eeps, episode 93. EEPMON signing off, and talk to you all tomorrow. Bye bye.